Hola, bom dia. You might have just caught the San Martino de Porto Bomberos test alarm, which signifies the call to stillness every midday, or at midday, every day except Sunday, when I, for the first time last Sunday, did a slightly longer Sunday session at 7 p.m. Anyway, let's get straight into it, shall we? And feel the weight of the body on the chair, the play of air on the skin, on your face maybe. Or if you're wearing shorts, you might feel the breeze on your skin. If not the breeze, then the pressure of the clothes on the skin. And it's possible that you can feel the breeze of breath coming in and out of your nose or your mouth as we enjoy a blessed moment of peace and stillness together, which I trust. I can only hope that that's available and possible for you right now. Which seems perhaps a frivolous, fripperous thing to do. That's why I've called this today's stream frippery, which I think is an architectural term. But is this a frippery? Is it an unnecessary ornament in our lives, or is it, and I would suggest it is, a survival skill? Now I've put you in an awkward position there. I've made you think about something, or invited you to think about something which may take you away from any stillness, which is the main point of us convening at midday. So maybe a little bit of to and fro about whether it's a frippery or a core skill, survival skill, after we've enjoyed the dropping away of self-imposed pressure, self-judgment, self-imposition, self-sabotage. So there's a key theme here, isn't there? That self, that self getting us into trouble. And as Marion was saying on the morning show this morning, the brain is lazy, likes to get into a rut and have the familiar to feel safe. Which is obviously great for survival's sake, but can be also stifling, suffocating, and a little bit familiarly contemptuous towards ourselves, to be getting too easy and familiar and not interrupt the safety that the brain might want to create for ourselves. So intervening right now, whether we feel like it or not, whether we want to or not, whatever our judgments are about this or not, let's come back to feeling the weight of the body on the chair, and maybe flies on your face or legs. And it's quite the challenge to not be irritated by them, isn't it? I think it's a bit like fear of heights and spiders, isn't it? It's like, when a fly lands on you, we have an ancestral urge to swat it away because it's a disease, potentially disease-ridden thing. But for this moment, I don't think we're going to suddenly get dysentery or malaria by letting one little fly land on us. And better still, feel the play of air or the power of the sunshine on your face if you're lucky enough to be blessed by the warmth of the sun where you're sat at the moment. I'm hearing children at play, sounds of the neighbourhood, passing traffic, and I can let myself be, I can let it all be, and just bear witness to it. Which we can arguably do more and more as a presence in our own lives, as a witness to all that passes in front of us, tempting as it is, whether it be pleasure or pain, that we be pulled into the melee and lose this beautiful detachment, transcendence, pure being that we can so easily give ourselves with a little bit of effort, notwithstanding a little bit of effort and interruption into the habitual trajectory of our daily lives, the toings and froings. But hopefully, and I have to say hope because I have no agency over your life, your activity, or your experience. So I hope that this is pleasant and relaxing for you as I find this each day. And in that ease, peace, joy, glory, whatever you've created for yourself, whatever state you're aware of for yourself, can consider this idea of whether this is just some terrible, luxurious privilege. And whilst people are being blown to bits elsewhere in the world, that we might feel angry and at the very least compassionate about. How dare we be peaceful when there's so much trouble in the world that we might become agitated about? Well, radical, perhaps. I can't think of any better contribution to the world than to be peaceful where you are right now, if that's possible. And if you do have that honour or privilege or whatever you might want to call it, if you have that access to being peaceful right now, might that not be your greatest contribution to the whole? I would say yes. Getting angry, inspiring or agitating others to be angry, as much of a virtue as that seems to have become in our times, is that really kind? Is that really necessary? I don't think so. And there's a time for that, isn't there? There's a time for that. But maybe it's not right now, where if we can be peaceful, we might be peaceful. And this isn't a frippery. I don't think this is a frippery. I think this is a survival skill, core skill, and a great contribution. And I'm not in a, not in a condescending or patronizing way, giving, being of service to humanity. Oh, look at me, not a virtue signal, but it just stands to reason and logic that if you're being peaceful, that would appear to be a blessing into the world in which you find yourself. Benign, at the very least, and unimposing on others and the environment in which you find yourself. Barely touching the surface, barely being here, but so profound and so deep, that sense and that experience of being, despite not engaging or being attached to anything that's going on right now. A great irony. Is it an irony? Paradox, a great paradox. The full majesty of being and stillness and relaxation, but without being imposing, without being a pain to other people. And if I am being a pain to you now, you should stop. This is not my intention. So easy does it. And in my hope and trust that this is beneficial to you, I trust and hope that it's useful to you in whatever might be coming at us in the pipeline, collectively, individually. We all have an individual apocalypse to face, and some suggest we have interesting collective times in which we're finding ourselves in an intensification of what we call the world and the sum of our parts at the moment, and its particular representation at the moment, its particular manifestation at the moment, and its intensity. And isn't it good to know that in the midst of that, You don't have to be in the midst of that. You can have a transcendent view as well of that, of some of the possible and actual horror that is the man-made world, as the ideological world, the polar world of human beings, where some are, it would appear, and we all are at times, almost completely ideologically captured. The price of which seems to me, if you give your mind completely to righteous anger, there isn't much room for anything else, which I would say that else being peace, joy and love. There seem to be more and more people entirely consumed by righteous agitation and anger and hatred towards others. Where can you go with that? I see only an explosive end to that for that individual or the part of the world they're constantly infecting with that kind of energy. I give thanks for being somewhere right now where I'm not subject to that. I hope I'm not doing that to anybody, and nobody's doing that to me right now. And all I need to do to involve myself in that is open up social media to be drawn into that tinderbox of stuff, and how precious it is to be able to know that there is refuge from that. There is peace, there is joy, there is easiness available to us by this act of will, of stopping and just viewing and bearing witness to what is right now. Well, have a great day. How lovely, peaceful amongst the olive trees. Aren't we lucky? Aren't we fortunate, Hugh? Lucky's a strange word, isn't it? But fortunate and blessed, it would appear, in this moment. Love to you, the Forestier Walkers, and to you, Asa, good morning to you. And we'll see you again tomorrow for a bit of a midday mindful moment. Go well.